Hello and welcome to the ultimate guide on how to make gold in New World, especially in the beginning of the game. So I've played the New World closed beta, and what I've noticed is that raw gold is quite difficult to come by, and you will mostly get it from questing, as well as bounty rewards, which are basically just repeatable quests. At level 15 I had about 1,500 raw gold in my inventory, as well as a bunch of materials. Keep in mind that a house costs you 10,000 gold on your first purchase, and the regular price is 20,000 gold. As you obtain items, you cannot vendor items. You can only salvage them for a little bit of the materials required to make them. So for example, if you salvage an iron sword, you will most likely get one iron ingot back, plus some repair parts. You cannot vendor items, so the gold itself will come from quests and repeatable bounties, as well as there's a market board where players can trade their items to other players, aka an auction house. So at this point what I'm trying to say is that gold is a scarce resource in itself, but you will get a decent amount of it while questing, and you should have roughly 1.5k gold at level 15. Now at the launch of New World there will be a lot of people doing quests, or a lot of people questing, a lot of people trying to level fast, and a lot of people not knowing how to do things. This is where you can take advantage of all of those types of players and sell things to make bank. You see, there's a resource board that offers different types of bounties that I mentioned earlier, and these bounties also gives experience, so a lot of people will want these materials to hand them in for the bounty, for that experience as well as the reputation, or faction standing bonus. These bounties can be anything gatherable, such as timber made from logs, which you get from chopping down trees, or stones that you get from mining, or different types of ingots and weapon crates that are made with the ores that you get from mining. And also there are bounties for leather, which you get from skinning. There's also bounties for cooking, which ingredients you can obtain by either killing animals or by fishing. And last but not least, there are also bounties for different types of gatherable herbs, the most infamous of which being fiber from hemp. So with all of this being said, here is my advice for how to make absolute bank during the first week of New World. Simply run around and gather stuff. No, really, that is it. There's obviously more to it than just that, but that is the TLDR. Pretty much everything you get from gathering will be required in one way or another for some sort of a bounty. But if you want to take it one step further, craft the exact things needed for the bounties themselves, which includes turning the raw animal hides into leather, crafting ores into bars, and crafting meat and fish into different soups and travelers' rations. Keep in mind that in New World you will need different tools to gather different types of things, so you need a skinning knife to skin, you need a miner's pickaxe to mine, and you need an axe to chop down trees. You get both the skinning knife, miner's pickaxe, and regular axe from simply following the questline, but you will have to craft a sickle as well as the fishing pole outside the main questline, so keep that in mind. You will need sickles in order to gather herbs, including hemps from fiber, including fiber from hemps, and you will need a fishing pole in order to fish. Now personally, what I would do is go for skinning and gathering first, which means getting your skinning knife and sickle as fast as possible, hunt down anything skinnable, and farm as much leather as possible, and keep the meat as well. Put the leather on the marketplace as people get to the first settlement and just sell them. Trust me, they will sell in hundreds, so you can easily farm for hours and sell everything. On top of that, there are quests for fibers, and during the beta, these were selling for huge money. They were so difficult to obtain, and I imagine it will be no different at launch either. So if you can get your hands on some early fiber by farming hemp, you can be swimming in gold. One thing I'll tell you right now is to use the map to your advantage when farming for stuff, especially when it comes to gathering and mining, as certain materials are only found in certain environments, so zoom in on your map and look to the left of your map under the categories objectives and identify which areas you can find different things. For example, fiber can only be found in forest and grasslands. Another thing you can do to make gold early in New World, like in the first couple of days or first weeks, is to farm out saltpeter, which you can find in caves. Saltpeter is required for crafting ammunition for guns, so anyone using a musket will want ammunition, which requires saltpeter, and not everyone will farm their own saltpeters, meaning there will be a fairly big demand for that item. Once again, saltpeters can be found in caves and wolf dens, and I have a full video about where you can farm saltpeters on my channel for those interested. Another thing you can do is simply farm mining, most notably here iron ores, and melt into iron bars. Iron will be used for many town board missions, including crafting different types of gear and trading in for experience, but you also need the iron bars in order to craft the iron cartridges, aka the ammunition for the musket that I just talked about, including the saltpeter, so you can never really go wrong with mining. I also have a video on iron farming on my channel if you're interested in finding the best iron farming route. Once you move further up in the levels, you can also obtain more gold per quest, but if you're able to capitalize on the early rush of New World, you can really make a lot of gold by capitalizing on what the majority of the people need in their leveling journey. And the fact that people have over 1000 gold left over at around level 15 means people can afford to spend several hundred gold each, I mean pretty much up to 1000 gold each, which also means prices might be at an all-time high for low tier materials quite early on, because later in the game higher tier materials will be most in demand and lower tier materials will be very hard to sell. So if you're looking to level up your life skills and you want to make as much gold as possible while doing it, going for it straight away is definitely the best option if you ask me. So yeah, that is pretty much it for how you can make gold early in New World, guys. This is basically a beginner's guide to gold making in New World, and focuses on lower level gold making and how to make gold early at the launch of New World. I want to reiterate that once again this is a gold making guide for the early phases of New World, most likely the first couple of days or the first couple of weeks, and you can utilize this to level up your life skills within the game, and also farm gold while leveling up your life skills, which is a chance you might only have at the actual launch itself. There will be more in-depth, more endgame gold farming and gold making guides coming out as the game itself comes out, and I get to play the endgame. For now, I hope you guys found this video helpful and informative, and if you did, please consider dropping a like to help push it into the algorithm, and consider subscribing to the channel for more content, as I upload almost daily and you don't want to miss out on future videos. That is pretty much it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.